Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Okay, in this video, we're going to understand the Agentic AI architecture with a simple family holiday planner example. Okay, when we hear Agentic AI architecture means, it sounds like a very big technical topic, right? Robots, complex diagrams, too many fancy words, right? So let's make it simple using a familiar situation. Okay, like a planning a family holiday. Okay, so throughout this video, you're going to understand each and every concept with this planning for a family holiday. Okay, with based on that concept, how it plans the family holiday, entire agentic AI concepts you are going to understand. So it would be easy to understand the things, right, with this simple example. Okay, so and in every scene I'll give you the general meaning first and then proper agentic AI term I'm going to explain. Okay, yeah, let's get started. Okay, now first let's understand the difference between chatbot and agent. Okay, that is our first step to understand the difference between chatbot and agent. Okay, coming to chatbot, I think everyone is familiar, right? We are all using the chat GPT. Okay, that is the best example for the chatbot. Okay, we ask a question and it answers it. For example, if I ask ChatGPT a question, where can we go for a July long weekend, it suggests the best destinations, right? And it gives very good answer. So it's a chatbot, but it cannot create that plan for us, and it cannot book tickets for us. It cannot it cannot direct in any way, like it cannot book flight tickets, it cannot book any hotel bookings, it cannot do anything, right? It just gives the information. Okay, that's about the chatbot. Okay, coming to agent, so here it is the difference. So agent will do the action. Okay, now you say plan our 3-day family holiday to an agent. Okay, so what this agent will do is it breaks that into smaller jobs. Okay, it checks the live information first thing, and it uses the yellow tools there, whatever the tools it can use for the planning of this holiday trip, and bring back a plan for approval. Okay, it cannot on its own decide. It will finally it will ask for the user's approval for the plan. Okay, because user may have different preferences, right? Based on that it will ask for the approval, and based on that it gets the approval. Okay, and then yeah, so it's not only talking, it is doing the action. Okay, that is the difference. A chatbot will just talk, agent will do action. Okay, that is the whole difference between a chatbot and an agent. Now let's understand what is an agent. Okay, so think of an AI agent as a family travel coordinator with 4 habits. Okay, 4 habits it has. Okay, the first one is it reads the trip briefly and the facts, current facts. Okay, this we call it as the context. Okay, it reads the trip briefly and the facts. Okay, this is the context, the first one. The second one is it decides the next useful step. Okay, it would check the hotel availability, rain or train timing. Okay, so this is called as planning and reasoning. Okay, first it took the context. Okay, the details and facts, context, and second is it checks the hotels availability, rain, train timings, etc., all these things. Okay, this is for the planning and reasoning. Okay, and the third step is it uses an allowed app or service. Okay, it uses some tools right here for bookings and verifications, these things. So this is tool calling. This we call as tool calling. So all these things agent is doing, okay, gathering the context, planning and reasoning, and the tools calling, okay. And the final step is, fourth step is, it checks whether the result still fits the family. Okay, upon verifying all these things, it will check whether that plan fits or not. Okay, this is called as verification. Okay, um, we got four terms: context, planning and reasoning, tool calling, and verification. Okay, agent will do all these four things. Okay, so agent is not just an AI model. Okay, so agent is the complete controlled loop around the model. Okay, so I hope this is clear, that the difference between LLM model and the agent. Okay, agent will do all these things. Okay, yeah. Our family brief is now clear, right? 3 days during the July long weekend within the budget. Grandma needs a step-free stay. The family wants vegetarian food and a relaxed place. Okay. In normal life, this is simply the family brief. But in agentic AI, we call it the goal, constraints, and guardrails. Okay. How do these words matter? Because finding a cheap hotel is not the real goal here. A hotel can be cheap but far away, unsuitable for grandma, right? Or not have the food the family needs, because these family needs vegetarian food. Okay, that should also suit. An agent is only useful when it understands what success actually means. Planning and reasoning. Okay, so first, the planner makes a practical to-do list: dates, travel, stay, rain, budget. Okay, and this is called, in agentic world, this is called as task decomposition. Okay, one big request becomes a set of smaller jobs. Okay, this complete travel is a bigger job, right? So this is uh, this becomes a set of smaller jobs. Okay, this is called task decomposition. Okay, next, it checks the latest facts. Our agent checks the latest facts: hotel availability, weather, prices, and travel time. Okay, this is called context and data retrieval. Okay, then it chooses what fits best. Maybe one hotel is cheaper but requires a long transfer, another costs a little more but is close, accessible, and works in the weather. Okay, this is called reasoning. Okay, reasoning doesn't mean magical hidden thinking. Okay, here it simply means comparing options against explicit criteria like budget, access, weather, food, and comfort. Okay, so this is all about planning and reasoning. Tools, tool calling. So let's understand this in a simplest way. Okay, tools are the agent's apps. Okay, so however we are using, suppose we want to get some information, or we want to do some activity, how we are using apps. If agents uses some additional things, so additional tool support, that is nothing but the tools. Okay, uh, so in real life, for example, in our ongoing trip planner activity. Okay, so if we take same, if we continue with the same thing, so the trip planner opens the calendar. Okay, checks weather, searches hotels, checks maps, and maybe starts a booking. Okay, so this is called tool calling. Okay, so this family trip planning, in this family trip planning, so what the trip planner will do, he opens calendars, checks weather, searches hotels, Okay, he will do all these things, right? So this is nothing but the tool calling. In our agent orchestration also, the agents will do this kind of thing. So if the agents needs some additional information or anything, any additional support it needs, they will do the tool calling agents. Okay, so when those tools are the software services, we often call the connections and API invocation. Okay, through API invocation, these agents will call the external services. Okay, the agent should not pretend it knows today's room price or current rain forecast, right? It may not know. Though it is an AI agent, it may not know. It needs additional tools to support. Okay, it should, and it should ask an approved tool for the live information. Okay, so that is the purpose of agent. So our LLM might not know the live information. So to get the live information, it has to take the tool support. Okay, in our projects also, it doesn't know anything about our project or anything, right? It has to call the API services and it has to get the information. Okay, this is also why permissions also matter. Okay, looking up weather is low risk. Booking a non-refundable hotel or paying money is a meaningful action. So it should wait for the family approval. Okay, the agent planner, he can't take all the decisions. Sometimes he might need the family approval as well. Okay, so that kind of thing also this agent will do. Okay, yeah. Now let's learn about memory. Okay, memory is like the family notebook. Okay, the planner should not ask every time does grandma need stuff free access, or does your family prefer vegetarian food, like that, right? He should not repeatedly ask the family members about these details. Okay, for the current trip, it may keep short term details such as dates, shortlisted hotels, and budget remaining. Okay, this is called short term context. Okay, he should have this knowledge, the planner. Okay, this is a short term context. And across approved conversations, it may retain stable preferences such as vegetarian food or an easy pace. Okay, this is a long term memory. Okay, it has to be in the long term memory area, because wherever they go, they should order the vegetarian food only. They should not again cross check or anything, right? Okay, this is a long term memory. Okay, good memory is not save everything forever. Okay, it must be relevant, permissioned, and retrievable at the right time. Okay, reflection and self correction before booking. So a sensible family member does one last check. Is the budget still okay? Is the hotel really stuff free? Did the weather change? Is the travel time too tiring? Okay, in AI architecture, this is called reflection or verification step. Reviewing the output against declared rules and evidences. Suppose the chosen hotel is sold out. A weak system may still show the old plan. A stronger one notices the failure, finds another suitable hotel, and checks the revised plan again. That repair step is called self correction. Okay, the pattern is very simple: check, revise, and check again. Okay, in our agentic architecture also, this also one of the greatest step. Human in the loop. This is one of the best step in our entire agentic AI architecture. Okay, the agent can do the homework, the planning, verifications, everything it does, and it can shortlist two good hotels and explain the trade-off, but the family gives the final approval before payment. Okay, that is what the requirement, right? So the analysis, the shortlisting of things, everything will be done by the agent. but the final approval should be given by the family. This is called human in the loop. Okay, often shortened as HITL. Or you might hear like approval gates like that as well. Okay, use it whenever an action costs money, has real risk, has an unusual exception, or needs personal judgment. The agent prepares and checks, the person keeps the authority. Human approval is not a weakness in AI, it is a good system design. Okay, we might not think like human approval is a something like a weak system. It's not like that, because agents are uh, agents are just tools, right? They might do some mistakes. Okay, and the judgment or need not be mistakes, even they do right thing also, the final call should be from the human. Okay, so that is why we need the human in the loop gates. Okay, single agent versus multi agent. Okay, for a normal weekend trip, one capable travel coordinator may be enough, right? Okay, so if it is a simple weekend trip, one coordinator can do all the activities. It can plan, it can search, check, and give one recommendation. Okay, this is a single agent structure. For a more complex job, a small team may be help. Suppose if it is a big event kind of thing, so one coordinator may not be enough. It needs a small team, right? One helper researches destinations, one checks the budget, one builds the itinerary, and a coordinator combines the work and checks that it makes sense together. Okay, this is a multi-agent system. Okay, and the coordinator is called as orchestrator. Okay, multi-agent system, and the coordinator is orchestrator. But do not create many agents just because it sounds advanced. More agents also mean more cost, communication, and confusion. Start with one agent, split into specialists only when the job genuinely benefits, right? The architecture map. Now we can read the full architecture in two ways. The family brief is the goal and constraints. We have already discussed this one, right? What is the goal and constraints? And the trip coordinator is the agent or planner. Okay. And the apps and websites required for this planning is tools and APIs. Okay. The family notebook is memory and context. The final checklist is a verification loop. The family approval is the human in the loop approval gate. Okay, these boxes can be separate services in a large company system or simple responsibilities inside a small application. The number of boxes is not the point here. The point is that the system knows the goal, uses trusted live information, remembers only what it should, checks its works, and keeps people in control.